Welcome friends, that we are introducing introduction of PGCIPWS block 1. So in block 1, unit 1 I am taking that one. In unit 1 the two lectures will be taken for the PPT 1 and PPT 2. So we start for PPT 1, have a basic concept of inventory planning and control, how it functions, what are the factors responsible for that. Is a learning objective of this one. In this PPT we are covering the definition, introduction, objectives, examples of the inventory planning, factors related to inventory planning and functions. The definition of any stock or inventory, what is that? So to run any business and manufacturing production services have a need of inventory in the form of raw materials, semi-finished, inter-processed product and final product, and services like bank, hospitals are required. Example of any inventory in stock we all have in a day-to-day life. So what is the inventory? Like you are having car, so the stepney in the extra tire is there in the stepney, that is you taking the inventory for the car or a stock for the car. Or if you all see the car manufacturing and assembly line, the sub-assembly like steerings, gears, that is to be fitted in car, that are the sub-assembly, that are the stocks. The bulk of construction material for construction activities like sand, cement, so that is for the construction activities. These are taking are the stock items. What is inventory management? To understand its basic concept, that it is the inventory planning, control, considering economy and uninterrupted production. Means it helps the production in a without to go a smooth production without any problems. Second definition is that the inventory management is the process of ordering, handling, storing and using a company's non-capitalized asset. Non-capitalized asset means all the stocks, that is all the goods available in the stocks, or that is called inventory. So we have to inventory management to that is the process of ordering, means you have to procure the item, handle it and store it, and that's why it is using the company non-capitalized assets. For some business, like involves the raw materials and components, while other deal with the finished stock items ready for sale. So you can take the in stocks either a raw material or semi-finished product or finished product, that is called inventory. So the entire thing that you can stock any of that thing that is required for the business or any commercial activity. So the basic narrations of the inventory management to deal with the right amount of stock in the right place at the right time, means whenever you need that items in productions, in services, you got it. Means the time you need it, you got it. So it is the right amount of stock in the right place at the right time. And second of basic is that to keep the inventory level balanced at all times without ever having too much or too little of each product stock. Means you keep the inventory not very large because your finance will be blocked, and not too little below the minimum level, so that when you need the inventory there will be no inventory, so you will go in the loss. And the systematic inventory and planning control is a vital for survival of a company as to control the stock of goods. What is that? That every inventory and stocks, the finance is blocked. So whatever that use systematic inventory management or planning and control is a vital for, so that your blocked finance is to be in liquidity in a moving things, and the company use it. So there will be no backlog or blocked item in the stock, so as to control the stock of goods. So inventory should not be a liability. There are many definitions of the inventory control, like it is in general terms, in the business terms and in the manufacturing terms. All the definitions are available in this one, so you can go through that, the basic thing of the inventory control, and you have a get the knowledge on wisdom. Just as an example that how the inventory affect the company asset, how it affect on the profit, how it will affect on the the financial position of the company. Suppose any business run in 100 crores and inventory of 30 crores there, 30 crores the handling cost of that one, handling cost meaning maintaining that inventory, that is 9 crore per year, comes to the 2.5 lakhs per day. Such a huge amount that you are maintaining the inventory. So you are very much cautious about the taking the amount of inventory, because it is a portion of capital is blocked there. So that is the minimum or adequate inventory. You should not be too much inventory, will not be affected. It symbolizes that inventory carrying cost is a burden to management, helps not owner, not customer. It means it is a very clear, it is evident that inventory carrying cost or inventory holding cost is, if it is too much, then it is a burden to management. It never helps to owner or never helps to customer. Second point is that idle inventory is a block capital. Idle inventory for the so many years, that is a block finance. So a portion of finance is blocked, that will become a liability for the company. Concluding, for survival, the inventory control is essential to control and regulate the stock. There will be any production line or material conversion process, there will be input. After that inventory take, it will be a conversion process, will get output, and same thing the feedback system of the out of stock inventory. This feedback system is very important. This will tell the main production line that how much inventory will be in a stock and how it will be utilized, when it will be stopped. So the action should be taken so that we should not interrupt the main conversion line, main production line, main assembly line, that is converted input, conversion process, and converted after the output will get. So this feedback system or a material conversion process is very essential to know that how the inventory play a role in production process. Purpose of inventory planning and control. What is the purpose? The purpose of inventory planning and control, that when should be in order to be placed for a product, how large should each order be, means time and amount. That is the optimal quantity should be ordered, when it should be ordered, so that we have a backlog in the inventory. The purpose of inventory theory, that entire to manage these two things, to deterministic rules that management can use and minimize the cost associated with the maintaining the inventory and meeting the customer demand. So this was that if inventory is properly maintained and production line is maintained for that, if a raw material is the stock, then it will get the output on time and have a best quality. So the proper inventory control has to be scientifically manage the whole stock, so that we should not be have a inventory become a burden for us, but inventory is converted into asset and it plays a vital role for increasing the profit. So any techniques or any scientific process has objective to that. Similar like that, inventory planning and control has an objective. What is the objective of that one? It is very evident from the slide that inventory is an essential part of any organization. It consists of many of the items running into the thousands. Systematic management and control of inventory for all the items in a challenging way. The main objective of inventory and its control are to maintain overall investment in the inventory at the lowest level consistent with the operating requirements. Means you have to keep the investment, minimum investment, so that your work is not suffer and neither you have get a lack of the inventory. So you maintain over investment in inventory at a lowest level to keep your working capital should not be more invested on the inventory. And what is the operating requirement, means what are the need of the production process in day-to-day life, in day-to-day work. So that amount of work, that amount of resources or sub-assemblies should be required whenever it times need. The second point is that to supply the product raw material, sub-assembly, semi-finished goods and to its user as per the requirement at right time at right place. Whenever your production process is going on, whenever you need any raw materials, whenever you need any sub-assembly, whenever you need a semi-finished goods, and when it is needed, it should be available in the store. So if it is not available in the store, then production will be halt and there will be a loss to the company. There will be whenever we require that material, it should be available in the store at right time. Means whenever we require that one, at right place means assembly line, at a proper assembly line it should be transported. Third point is that to keep inactive waste, surplus, scrap and obsolete item at the minimum level, means you use the materials, you use the resources, use the raw materials, semi-finished product to keep inactive, means you have to minimize the waste and surplus, scrap and obsolete item at the minimum level. That is the minimum of the resource of the company. Next point is that this whatever the term is coming, that holding cost, replacement cost, shortage cost, this will be discussed later on. But this replacement cost means you have to replace the inventory which is outdated, you have to hold and the holding cost means you have to maintain the inventory, means what are the warehouses charges, insurance charges, your if refrigeration is required, that charges, transportation charges, inspection charges, see all the maintaining charges, these are all the coming on the holding cost. And shortage cost means that you have whenever you need any material or raw material that is out of stock, this time of the valuation is to be added. This is called a shortage cost of the inventory. And we have to keep the minimize holding, replacement and shortage cost of inventory to maximize the efficiency and operational efficiency in the production and distribution. The next point is that to reduce the risk inherent in treating inventory as investment for other less returns. We should not consider an inventory as a risk or as a liability to the company. Means we have to maintain the inventory in an optimal way. So what are the minimum amount of stock should be available, so that at the time of need, whenever we require, we use it, and there will be a flow of inventory, procurement process will going on. So this will be the only in stock, a optimal quantity of inventory should be maintained. Inventory as a stocked item, it had the many types, like direct type item, which is also included in finished product. Like in an automobile company, the car is the finished product, is inspected, that is lying, that the car is made and manufactured, that is lying in the company yarn, that is a direct inventory. Indirect inventory, item which is not included in finished product, like cleaning material, stationery, means that it is indirect items that which helps the finished product to be prepared. So it is a cleaning material, stationery, other resources. Supporting items means which support the direct item, means the item directly supporting, like spares for the emergency generators, any machines items, or any sub-assembly of any machines, operating machines. These are the supporting item. The reserve item, which are for the specific purpose, and a specific purpose that the reserve stock will be used. It need not to be kept separate from other. The function of inventory, the basic is to means the profitability through the manufacturing and marketing support, supporting geographical specialization, decoupling, balancing supply and demand, and safety stock. These are the types of inventory on which the inventory depends. Right amount of stock. Next to that, avoid physical impossibility and economic unviability, means we have not enough space to store our stock of the items. This will be not a financial unfeasible things, or it should not be financially unviability, means we have to store the item as we require only, not more than and not too little. Procurement of item at minimum cost. Provide reasonable customer service. So any item should be we are manufacturing for the customers. So the customer is you know that customer, for any customer service, we should be prompt for that, and we should satisfy the customer at any level. Maintain a planned workforce and economic production done. For any production process or systematic inventory planning and control, we have to know the skilled persons. We are the skilled person, a planned workforce and economic production runs means any production process should be economical. It should not be a burden to the company. So it should be economical so that the product will be released, will be that high quality, less cost and the cheapest one for the customer. Next point is that optimal use of capital and storage space means we have to sufficient amount of capital and storage space for maintaining the inventory. So all the phenomena we are doing that achieving favorable rate of return means all the phenomena we are doing that we should get from the business a return, a very much good amount of return. So any commercial activities we are doing for getting the profit. Factors of the inventory planning and control. When, how much to be ordered and when it to be ordered, on this issue we are having certain factors associated with that one. So we are the economic parameters, purchase and production cost, selling price, procurement cost, holding and carrying cost, shortage cost, cost of the operating informations and processing systems. So these different type of cost will be explained later on, like the purchase and production cost. The total production cost is the total purchase cost plus total production cost and overheads, that's coming the purchase and production cost. Selling price, on which a selling price is that? In selling price amount is done that is a profit. The selling price is the production cost plus profit, that is your selling price. Procurement price, you have to procure the raw material at a minimum cost. You have procured the stock item at minimum cost, that is a procurement cost. Holding and carrying cost, to maintain the inventory, that maintain the inventory at a minimum cost means the cost of maintaining the inventory, freight charges, insurance charges, warehouse charges, refrigeration is allowed a refrigeration charges. These are all the cost which should maintain the inventory or to control the inventory, that is your holding and carrying cost. Shortage cost. Shortage cost is a very typical point that whenever you need a material, if the material is not available and we have to procure at a higher rate from the market, it takes some time. So but that time the cost involved, that is called a shortage cost. Cost of operation and information processing service. Nowadays every operation have a required MIS. So with the MIS, maintaining the computers and maintaining the informations, we need capital. So the cost of operating information processing system, cost of computer, cost of operator, cost of maintaining all the software packages. So these are coming in the cost of operating information processing system. So we can know that at each point of time that how much material is available in a stock and how much time will be needed for the reorder point. Demand has two types, that is deterministic and probabilistic. Ordering cycle, continuous review, periodic review, and there is a lead time. Lead time will be defined that the time of requisition and the time of getting the material. It is a lead time will divided into different parts, that administrative lead time, inspection lead time, supplier lead time, transportation lead time. Time horizon of the planning period. Number of supply echelons, number of stages of inventory, number of items, assembly of items, and government policy. Government policy for the specific crucial matter, that is some explosive is there or some inflammable items are there, that is the government policy and you have to follow the government policy.